Hello, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of A Hot Mess. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your girl, Janae. That's me, baby. And welcome to the first episode, but I'm not alone. Ladies and gentlemen, I got with me, Jack, people. Everybody, please introduce yourself.
Hello. That was very dope, by the way.
Yeah?
So much energy. I had a hectic morning. I'm Jack Msibi. I am the founder and CEO of Corinthians. So, yeah.
That's what's up. So we're going to have a very fun interview with Jack. But before we get into that, let's just, say a few shout outs. Shout out to our sponsor, Old Mutual, for sponsoring the video. Thank you guys. You guys came through for the crew. If it wasn't for y'all, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you so much. And shout out to Double Up, ladies and gentlemen. Double Up isn't just only like a clothing brand. It's also a brand that helps other small brands reach their goals as a brand, through bargaining, shortcut. Double Up. You get it, right? So get Double Up, guys. So thank you so much, Double Up and Old Mutual, for coming through for the crew. So let's get started. How you, man?
I'm good, man. I like the whole energy,
Yeah?
the vibe.
The setup?
Yeah, no, I like you got it going.
You here for it?
Yeah, 100%.
Let's talk about something. So before we get into the interview, guys, my producer, he said to me, Janae, I'm going to quote him. He said, Janae, this is your house. Own
Sure.
it. So I'm like, why not just talk about something that's been bothering me? My unpopular opinions, in a way, guys.
Okay.
Please, I just have something to say. I want to say it, guys. My unpopular opinion number one: if you have a Facebook account, an active Facebook account today at your big age, I think you're ghetto. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Am I wrong?
No, proper. I get you.
Come on, guys. A whole active Facebook account. I feel like that's not it. Nah, bro. No, it's not it. It can't be. It can't be.
Wait. Are you saying then we should be using just Instagram?
Not just Instagram, but like Facebook, guys. Really? That's so 2010 even. It's ghetto. I just think it's ghetto. Do you have an active Facebook account?
I do. I struggle
yeah,
with
yeah.
Instagram. I really struggle with Instagram. I'm not keeping up. I don't know. It's
Guys,
just
come
not my
on.
thing.
No, Facebook. What do you find reliable about Facebook?
Tabang's still using Facebook. He's very
When
active.
when I found out, actually, I told him no, you can't. I remember telling him. Remember I told you, I was like, I cannot be, guys, no.
No, but for me, it's, I don't know, I guess I'm that guy with that green, that green ID book. You guys have smart
vele,
cards.
you guys are
Mina
old.
ngisashaya le green, yabo.
Guys
So I'm
are
that guy who's
hot.
stubborn and ngani nje, the 1990s type
Yeah.
of vibe. But I struggle with Instagram. Like I tried. It's just not working for
Guys,
me.
no, come on. I don't know. Maybe because like it's something fun for me. I find it easier to use. I don't know.
I get you.
But Facebook, guys, nah, it's ghetto.
But when you say
Still saying-
active, what do you mean? I mean like posting or just...
I mean, if you have it on your phone right now and you can go on and you can work, it's a problem.
So you don't have it?
Nah,
Oh,
I
okay.
don't, guys. Facebook, I don't know how to use Facebook till today.
Wow.
Haven't learned.
Jeez,
Can't
that's
do it.
hectic.
Can't do it.
That's
Number
hectic.
2, I want to say, guys, this is specifically for gents, your gender. When it comes to, guys, skinny jeans are not cute. Skinny jeans are not hot anymore. Stop it.
I stand in agreement with
Guys, no. Skinny jeans. I remember I don't even know where I was at. I think I was in Brum. I'm seeing this guy wearing a skinny jean. I'm like, till today, at your big age, bruh.
Yeah.
Nah, can't be. If you're obsessed, buy stockings. Leggings, wear your mom's leggings. If you're obsessed, go ahead, bruh. Jeans.
Yeah.
Skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Who manufactures those? Do you wear skinny jeans?
No, I'm shocked that skinny jeans are still around.
Bro.
Though. I thought those things were like cut out from sale.
It's not it, bruh.
Yeah.
Whoever's manufacturing, stop it.
Mr. Price.
Stop it. Mr. Price, really, do they
Mr.
have?
Price, stop what you're doing.
Mr. Price, stop it.
Yeah.
Guys, no, you're like giving. Yeah, I know, guys, no. But let's not come for Mr. Price. Let's not come for. Yeah, just come for the people.
Sure.
Number 2, actually number 3. I want to say, I actually find it disrespectful that some people don't wear their masks anymore. Like, I mean, even though Cupcake said, okay, shop outside, you can just, but like indoors, even I feel like people aren't wearing their masks. Like, how do you take that? Are you that kind of person who's gonna be like, guys, please wear your mask, or are you just cool with it?
No, I hear you. I think everyone is just tired of COVID. No offense. I know it's something
yeah.
quite serious. We've lost a lot of people with it, but it's something that's just been ongoing. And I think also the transparency with our government as well, where, especially with young people, I think just in South Africa as general, you don't just government.
Yeah.
So, even Cupcake, when he said it, man, it's like, like outside you can, but you cannot. He's not clear. So, but I get what he's saying. But for me personally, I can't.
Guys, my ego won't let me. I have a big mouth. I'm gonna tell you, please, especially if you're coughing and your mask is sitting here. Why not here? Come
Sure.
on, guys. No, people are getting sick. And like, I feel like it's also selfish because not only do you not know who this person is going home to, but like, there's other people around you. So I feel like I kind of find it disrespectful. But I mean, it is what it is, guys. You know, people are different. People
Sure.
are different. Not everybody wants to wear masks. People are tired of masks, eh? For me,
it.
who has makeup, I really, my mask, shalala. But I mean, you know, sometimes gotta cover up. I'm not trying to get sick.
Doesn't it disrupt the makeup?
Oh, dude, it's kind of, you know, you have to tread lightly, especially if you're wearing lip gloss. Very sensitive. I know,
Sure.
I know Michelle can relate to that too. With lip gloss, you kind of gotta, just a little bit. You don't want your lip gloss to be messed up and stuff.
Yeah, because I've seen women masks, then it's like the whole, if not a lipstick, then it's just red or lip
Bro,
gloss.
it's brown,
Anyway,
the
guys,
foundation.
doesn't look good.
No, guys, we don't want
Not
masks.
sulitafula ngayo or something.
You know, sometimes that's why I say prefer. I also prefer a black mask.
Sure.
Because the
Yeah,
the
it's
blue
proper.
one, it's very transparent
Sure.
and inside is white. Why? Then you can see my lip gloss from outside or my lipstick. Don't like that.
Yeah, proper.
Don't like that. But like, guys, please, let's wear our masks. Let's stay safe. Like, yo, COVID is still a big thing. Like, I personally feel, because when I had COVID on my birthday last year,
Sure.
and it was terrible. And like, I have a heart murmur, so it's a hole in my heart. So I literally thought I was gonna die.
You have a heart?
Murmur.
Oh, okay, I don't know what that is. Maybe you can
It's
explain.
a hole in my heart.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've had it since I was born because I was a premature baby. So yeah, with that
Wow.
going on. But I mean, guys, please, I just still find it disrespectful. Just find it really disrespectful. But let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I was on, I think I was on Instagram when I was looking through like my Pepandaba and stuff and what's going on, and I found out Dos is actually gonna stop. Well, not stop, but he's taking a break from music for trying to, like, he's trying to focus on his mental health. So I think that's a big thing. What is your take on that?
Yeah, mental health is something very, very, very serious. I work a lot with young people, from youth,
Yeah.
youth in church, from community development, from even my coaches. In fact, I've got 3 coaches. I've got a cricket coach, a netball coach, and a soccer coach, and they're going through hectic depression. The netball coach was hospitalized because of depression and mental health.
Yeah.
And this is like a mother of 3, and she's like a great coach, but it's people are going through the most. You know, so mental health is something very serious because a lot of times that's what leads to suicide, and we can see that's becoming something very, very serious as well.
True.
So I mean, I was engaging someone that we need more counselors, social
We
workers,
do.
not more
We
law
do.
enforcement, but we need more people so people can speak. But yeah, that's a very, very serious topic.
Yeah, and I think I found it very cool. Like, my reaction was different compared to other people. Other people were like, yo, those guys, umlando. But I was like, actually, this is a very good decision because we saw what happened to Ricky, guys. Nobody knew what he was going through, and then it ended up in a situation where it's like suicide, guys. Yo, that was just very hectic. And when I found out, because I don't think I'm gonna say what was happening, but like, I was very, very surprised, but I kind of predicted it. At
for
some
real?
point, I was talking to my friend, and I was like, Chama, I was going through his Instagram. I was at her house, and I was showing her something because we're prepping for Cotton Fest and stuff. And I was like, Chama, if Ricky dies, it's over for the youth. Monday, we get the news. I'm
Wow.
like, damn. I was surprised, guys. So I think mental health it's very interesting that some artists actually like take it serious, because some other artists would really just hold it in and just keep moving, because you gotta get the bag, you gotta keep it pushing, you know. So I mean, I'm just glad that Dos is taking a break and he's taking this serious, because I even saw there was a video going around. He fainted on stage.
Fatigue, because of fatigue as well.
And stress, and he even said, "Uguti, guys, there's a lot going on." So I think it's a great idea that he's taking himself seriously, because I mean, if you're not in the right mental space, then how are you gonna be good to people? How are you gonna produce what you need to produce? You know, your craft and everything gotta be serious. So I say shout out to Dos for doing that, because guys, you know, we're gonna miss you, Brad, but just get well, because
Yeah.
you need to make sure you're okay, because if you're not okay,
Sure.
how you gonna work?
Yeah, no, definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
So that's a big thing. But another thing I heard, Casper is taking Anati back to the studio. Do you know
For real.
Anati?
Yeah, I know Anati.
Dream Team.
Wasn't he big? Now he lost
Yeah.
weight. He's been trying to break into the industry. But I hear he's a good producer. But yeah.
I was very surprised when I heard he stopped music. Apparently, because cyberbullying and stuff like
For real?
that. I never really understood
just
the whole
disappeared.
story. Disappeared. He deleted his Instagram, everything. I was like, yo. I was surprised. But I mean, you know, shout out to him. Let's hope we have some nice things cooking up in the studio
Yeah.
with Casper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's shout out big time. What
Yeah.
else did I hear? I heard this hey guys, this thing has been trending for a while. Drake and Waffles. And I was thinking to myself,
Yeah.
what if Drake and Waffles, you know, become a thing?
That'd be dope.
How are we gonna react to it?
No, that'd be very, very, very dope. Yeah.
I think I'm not gonna be surprised, but I think the world's gonna be shocked. Yo, Waffles,
Sure.
a whole DJ with Drake. Yo, guys, uzomlobol.
It's a good
Lobolo
question.
Jake.
Very good question.
Also,
You don't know.
keep an eye.
Yeah, it's a very good
Yeah,
question.
we never know. We never know. But
Yeah.
shout out big time. But now let's get into the interview. Just to get into things real quick. Who is Jack? Tell us a little bit about you, bro.
Yeah, it's like an interview question. That's a hectic one.
Come on,
Because
come
whenever
on.
they ask you that question, it's like, what do you start? The thing is with that question, it's a lot of times we define ourselves by what we do.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
who is Jack? Then I'm gonna tell you everything that I do, but I don't tell you who I am.
Who you are.
Yeah, I'm very loud. But at the same time, I am the most chilled person. Apparently, I joke a lot. That's what the people I work with,
Yeah.
the people who are close to me, apparently I clown a lot. But I know when to take leadership. I know when to take things very serious. So I would say Jack is a chilled person. Swati boy, born
Yeah.
in South Africa. That's where my family comes from.
Shoo.
Got royal blood, King Sobuza in me.
Shoo.
Royalty in the house.
Yes, sir.
Bow down
Yes,
to the king.
sir.
Everyone bow. Steve Biko, bow down, son. You know.
Yes, sir.
You know, but Jack is very passionate. He's passionate about young people. He's passionate about transformations, zealous about God. And I am an optimist, like Optimus Prime. I love anime.
Yeah.
And I take things very lightly, but at the same time, my perspective is also quite serious, especially in changing things and transforming things.
Okay.
So that's who Jack is. So yeah. Hope I
So how
answered.
did Jack get into Corinthians, and what inspired Corinthians?
100%. Corinthians was never planned. I remember also speaking to Tabang. I've known him for quite some time. We had moved into South Hills in 2012. I was in Monash University. I don't know if you know Monash.
I've heard of Monash.
Yeah, it's very expensive. Australian University in South Africa in Roodepoort. So I'd left Cares, which is a boys' school. Then I went to Monash, but due to financial things, my mum owned property here in town.
Okay.
So they hijacked the property. We had now a rent-to-buy type of house in South Hills.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard of South Hills.
I
though.
have.
Have you been to South Hills?
Nah.
Okay, so South Hills is almost like a type of El Dorado Park.
Okay.
It's
Kasi?
colored base type of community. Black people there, flats.
Okay.
But then one road divides it like the flats. Then there's a houses.
Is it a Kasi? Suburb.
It's a suburb.
Okay.
But it's like an elders type of suburb.
All right.
There's flats there, the coloreds are there, then the black people
Yeah.
there and stuff. So it's like a mixture, And so we moved into South Hills, and I dropped out because of financial reasons.
Okay.
And then I just found myself playing street soccer, one pal. What's about one pal?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. Have you played one pal?
Nah. Na ke rata ho dlala what? King Khomaka. What is it?
Which
When
one?
you have to kick the ball once and touch it once, and if you touch it
Oh, one
once, you have
touch.
to- Yeah,
They
one
hit you
touch.
inside.
Yes.
Oh, okay, no, I
Or
see.
you are wamaka.
Okay. No, nothanda ukushaya. vele.
No, ngithanda ukumaka. Cabanga ngizoshawa.
Ubani uthanda ukumaka?
Me,
Ah,
I used to
guys.
like playing it, but like I would never mark because I was a hand. My brother's like, okay, it's fine, we'll do it for you.
Seriously? Aye,
Say,
no,
bro.
you're very special there. Aye. So we were playing one pal,
Yeah.
and I was very, very good at football. And so the kids saw me play, and then they're like, "Oh, can you teach us how to play, basically?"
Okay.
And so we played, and I was just showing them flames. And then they're like, "Can you take us for a session at the park?" I was like, "No, I was just not in a good space." And then they kept on asking, so I took them to the closest park from the street. I took them to a park. We opened up in prayer,
Okay.
ran a session, and then I started speaking into their lives. So I saw myself basically addressing them, because the colored kids were not passing the ball to the black kids.
Oh.
You understand?
Yeah.
And then the other black kids were also with the colored kids, so it was like some racial thing happening there. So I sat them down and I told them about basically playing as a team, love, respect, and all those type of things.
Unity.
And yeah, unity.
Yeah.
And I thought that was it. Next week, 12 players hitting my gate.
Shoot.
Bari coach. Training session.
Shoot.
I was like, hi, these kids. And that was the beginning of
Shoot.
Corinthians.
Okay.
That was the beginning of, it was never planned. So it was just playing from one palestratini, going to the park. The kids came back and we never stopped. We gained momentum till today.
Yo. So what do you think inspired these kids to even feel like they want to just do this? Do you think they know they had an idea of Corinthians, or they just like, nah, some is bola, guys?
Yeah. So the same kids, because the age group was very different. So in South Hills, we have a big drug problem. A very big drug problem.
yeah.
So one of them was like 17, 18, struggled basically eskolweni, family is abusive, it's hectic. So he would chill ekoneni, ilawa 2 rand, 5 rand. I don't know if you know those ones. In South Hills baningi, 2 rand, 5 rand, Jake, give me that, you know. So what happened is they would basically, because they're unemployed, they've dropped out of school, they would make money by shipping drugs. Everyone talks about the consumption of drugs. No one talks about the shipping of drugs. So for every drug you ship in South Hills at that time, it was 2 rand. Then it went up to 5 rand. So if you shipped 5 times, you're getting 25 rand. That's good money. You understand? And the kingpins, you don't see the kingpins.
Yeah.
When you plome kone no hambisi drug 25 rand yakho. So imagine you shipping at least 10 times 50 rand. Umnandi. But now the same kids are coming through for football and they're talented. And I'm speaking into their lives. So what made Corinthians very different is I went through so much failures that I was able now to basically mentor these kids.
Okay.
And see the talent in them, because I wanted to be professional. And basically from there I started developing their skills, speaking into their lives, and I was very invested in who they are.
Okay.
So for them this was like, wow, ubaba endlini akekho, or ubaba endlini doesn't care, or ubaba endlini is fighting no mama.
Yeah.
But here's this guy who's invested in what I love, which is soccer, and what I want to become. So mama kancane ngama drugs beza ku Corinthians, and they started becoming committed. So I started killing the supply chain of all those kids who were shipping.
So have you ever had problems with one of your players? Like have you ever had a situation where you see that this could be a star and they just choose not to like go that way, and they be like, you know what, ball is not for me, I'm not going to do this. Have you ever had a situation where you were like, you know what, I see so much in this kid, but like now I'm just giving up?
You know, one of the most painful stories, I'm just thinking about a player of mine. His name is Tyrese. He was this short colored kid, you know, and he was phenomenal. He joined Corinthians at the age of 10, if I'm not wrong. Okay. It's very, very short. At that time, I had an under 15, under 17 team. At the age of 10, he was playing with the under 17s.
Under 17s.
And I remember we were playing against these big players, and he was one-on-one with the goalkeeper. As short as he is, he chipped the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper's like way bigger than him.
Yeah.
Everyone went crazy. When I think about him, for me, I was like, this is Bafana, and so many of them, but he was a special talent.
At 10 years old.
At 10, he was like a super special talent. But the sad part is, as soon as he grew and he went into high school, and then basically the environment of South Hills basically got consumed. Wafunda drive imoto, igolfi, okapipe, and then okapipe ukchila, golf ukchila. We're talking about suspensions, about rims, and he started doing drag racing. And unfortunately, I think it was in December, he was in a car accident and he passed away.
Yo, so sorry for that, man.
Yeah, and that was a special talent for me, you know. I work with a lot of kids, but, you know, that one I was like, that's Real Madrid, Barcelona. Gone, just like that.
Gone. That's so misfortunate. But I'm sorry for your loss, man. But speaking of kids, do you have any of your own?
No. I do have 750 kids.
Oh.
Those are the ones in Corinthians. So we started off with 5 kids. Now we have 750.
That is big, man. Shout out.
Massive. I'm a big
That's
papa.
Big.
I'm Father Abraham.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We lousy, basically.
Hectic.
That's beautiful. But why name it Corinthians? Where did the name come from?
Yeah, so during that period where I had started Corinthians, you know, we were going through a hectic financial period. So Mama lost her buildings, and obviously I had to drop out of varsity, and that's where I found myself in the Word of God. It was a tough period, and it was in 2 Corinthians where the Apostle Paul, he writes the letter to the church in Corinth.
Okay.
So a lot of the New Testament, it's Paul's letters. They're called epistles.
Okay.
He's writing to the churches to encourage them. So when he went to Rome, he would leave and then he would check up on them, or he'd hear things about them. To encourage them, he'd write letters. So he writes to the church in Corinth, and the church in Corinth was it was a trading hub.
Okay.
And they were growing in God. But there was a lot of things that were happening, like, you know, heresy. A lot of people now were deviating from the faith, a lot of things. So when Paul writes to them, he talks about a lot of people moving away from the faith. And he says, a lot of you basically are being tested. You're going through tribulation. You're going through challenges.
Yeah.
But Paul says, continue going through it. Because when you're weak in Christ, that's when you are strong.
Deep.
Because in your weakness, you don't depend on yourself, your intellect, or your strength. In your weakness, that's when you become dependent on a greater being, and that becomes Christ. And so that was Paul's motivation to the church in Corinth. He writes that letter because he talks about the things he's going through.
Yeah.
And I remember reading that, and I was like, hey, mara God, siyakosha ngoba bafake for sale sign.
Yeah.
Baqisha ugesi, baqisha amanzi, bayasikhipha. At 4 o'clock, I've got a training session. Mara bayasiqosha endlini.
Bankosha.
But I continued to train those kids like nothing was happening. So I remember going on my knees and saying, Father, see us through this. I don't have the strength, but somehow you've called me for these kids because there's a drug pandemic that's happening. There's a crime pandemic that's happening. See me through this. And we wanted a name. So they came up with South Hills Stars, the Bears, whatever, All Stars. And I said, we're Corinthians.
Corinthians.
At that time, it was South Hills Corinthians. But now it's grown bigger, so it's Corinthians.
Corinthians. That's so beautiful. That's a beautiful story, man. Shout
Thank you.
out. But I want to know real quick. When it comes to Corinthians, I also heard that y'all don't just do like focus on soccer players. What other sports do y'all focus on?
Yeah, no, Corinthians has grown. So it
Yeah.
just used to be a football club. And so what happened is they started building estates where we used to play soccer. So every single Saturday, there was a soccer ground where everyone would go in South Hills and play. Because everyone wanted to beat us. We had grown now.
Yeah.
So they basically removed that soccer ground. There was nowhere to play soccer. When we go to the schools, they're charging us 3,000 rand. So what I did is I got angry. So I said, okay, sharp. The schools are charging us money. We don't have a place to play football. I said we're going to take over all the parks.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of my faith in Christianity, where Christ leaves and he says that, embrace the persecution. Because that's where the Christian faith and Christian movement grew. It was through persecution. Because people started running away, but wherever they ran to, they started the church.
Yeah.
They multiplied. So embrace the persecution. So for us, whatever we were doing, there was nowhere to play soccer.
Oh.
I remembered that word of Paul of embrace the persecution.
Yeah.
So we took over all the parks on purpose. And we started South Hills Corinthians in every single park in our community.
Yeah.
They started complaining. And they're like, in Moshucha, in Yonkindao. We were like mushrooms.
Yeah.
And so there was a dilapidated building in La Rochelle. It had 2 soccer grounds.
Okay.
It was messed up. Druggies were there. So my ward councillor came with the city of Johannesburg and said, hey, dude, number 1, we've seen the work you're doing. It's massive because you've grown. Number 2, I got maran Moshuchani, mapagi.
Yeah.
Nazikia. Take over this facility. And at that time, I'd lost my mom in 2018. So from there, we transitioned basically from not just only doing soccer. We looked at the facility and said, let's have netball. Because the netball girls approached us because of prostitution, which is quite big. La Rochelle, Rosettenville, prostitution is hectic.
Yeah.
Young girls like yourself are selling bodies for money, unemployment. So we started netball. Then I was approached by Gauteng Lions and JP Quandam, and they said, dude, we're seeing what you're doing. What about cricket in the area? There's no cricket.
Yeah.
We started cricket. And then obviously our recent project, which is 2 of them, is I was then approached by 2 blind kids in the community. And they said, hey, we're coming here every single Saturday. We're watching football. Give us a chance. And I was like, aye. Now we're
Yeah.
now blind kids playing football.
The usual. I was about to ask, how does that even work?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the whole thought process? Because to me, when you say blind, I think completely blind as in that can't see anything. So now imagine a blind person playing soccer. How does that work? How would it work?
Yeah, I think all of us think of it that way. I mean, I was looking at them and they were like walking at that time, holding each other. I'm like, you guys can't even walk straight. Imagine ball.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's why I was very reluctant with it. But they were persistent, very persistent. And so I did research in December, and I found out that blind football is something big in Europe. And how it works is there's five players. It's like an indoor type of vibe. The goalkeeper can be partially sighted or you can see. The 4 players inside are completely blindfolded. And so when they play, the ball is got bells inside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
For sound, right?
For sound. So when they play normal, no sticks, because people think they're moving with sticks and they're moving like that. No, they play normal football, but they're playing by sound.
Yo, isn't that challenging? Imagine having to hear where the bell is going. Grr, grr.
Yeah.
Now what if they run into a wall or something? Is there like someone spectating and like making sure that they in the same like space? Because if you're like blindfolded completely, how will you know you're running into a wall?
Yeah. The thing is with that is the fans are quiet so that they can only hear the bell as well. But here's the thing with blind people. I always say that they're not disabled. They're just differently abled.
They're not. Yeah.
Because when you lose sight, everything else is heightened. So there's a lot of things they're able to do. You'd be shocked. Because I've got 2 players who can't see and hear, but they're still playing. So now they have an outer body experience.
Right.
It's an outer body experience. I don't know if you know of bats and how bats operate.
Oh, yeah. But bats and stuff, bats are weird.
Yeah, bats can't see.
They can't.
Yeah, but bats are able to fly and check everything. They use something called echolocation. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Nope.
So how echolocation is they release a sound, it bounces into something and tells them where that thing is. So with blind people, they use sticks.
Yeah.
Whatever they hit, I don't know if you've seen blind people walk with sticks.
I have.
So when they're hitting the stick, it releases a sound and tells them tabang is here, the wall is there, that is there, and then it directs them which way to move so they don't hit or bump into something.
people.
So when a blind player is playing, there's echolocation type of vibe that's happening, hearing. If there's no hearing, then there's another thing which they use is called feel. I call
Okay.
it the feel. They play soccer feeling. It's
So
another
instinct.
it's like an instinct. If you watch like Dragon Ball Z, it's like Ultra Instinct, you know, where Goku uses that.
Yeah.
That's an out of body experience. So imagine playing football, feeling where the ball is, where your opponents are through
Yeah.
vibrations and energy. So they do incredible stuff that I can't even explain properly. I think I'm doing it injustice here. But they're phenomenal.
I hear it. It sounds so cool. But how do you, as a coach, just communicate with your players if it's like in a situation where they're blind and deaf?
I think the first thing I did is I studied sports psychology with Barcelona in Spain.
Okay.
You know, so sports is all psychology. In fact, yesterday I had a session with the blind kids. And I noticed that, sharp, I can train these kids, but if I don't have intimacy with them, there's no connection.
Yeah.
So I had to build intimacy. So one of the first sessions I had for 2 weeks, there was no training. It was relationship building. Who are they? Where are they from? What's their story? What's their vulnerability?
Yeah.
I had to share my vulnerability with them as well. And when we develop that intimacy, you understand, because it's a feel thing.
Yeah.
It's not an instruction type of thing. Those kids listen to me and my assistant coaches like this. There's a connection that it's more than a verbal communication of okay, so do this. It's he trusts me because he was able to share his vulnerability with me.
Yeah.
I shared my vulnerability. In fact, yesterday I was talking to them about ex-girlfriends. That was our psychological session. We were talking about exes.
I'm an ex.
I'm an ex, and we had a deep session. We were
Yeah.
bonding so hectic. That bond, psychologically, we are able to connect. Last week, 2 weeks ago, we went to Virgin Active. They invited us in Houghton. The best yoga instructors were there. They were instructing the blind kids what to do. It's not that they can't hear English, they hear it.
Okay.
But they struggled
Oh.
because there's no connection.
There's no connection.
Exactly.
I mean, you guys have to understand each other and how to communicate with each other. So I guess the bond makes sense. But enough about the brand. Let's talk about you a little bit more. What can't you do? Since you did psychology and you did this coach, you know, building, growing with people. What is one thing? Or let's get into something lighter. What is one thing you know for a fact you can't do to save your life?
I don't love cooking, but I cook because I stay by myself now.
Yeah.
Not a best of cook, but to survive, I do cook. But there's a point where I was just living on a lot of junk food. I think I spent like over 5,000 rand on junk 1 month.
Yo.
You know,
Yo.
but I don't love cooking, but I can now to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can, but I wouldn't cook for people. I cook for myself.
Oh, yes. Yeah, babu,
Unless in
babu.
Gomas, no sugar.
Food is bitter, bro. I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only you can eat your food. I also can't cook.
For real?
I swear.
Huh?
I swear. I never had time growing up to like actually learn how to cook. Maybe I know like with noodles and eggs and stuff. I really can't cook.
For real?
Yeah.
Who cooks for you?
My mom.
Just-
My mom, my dad even. My dad is a better cook than my mom.
So, manje, mo hlangana, no brother. You know,
Hi,
talking
brother. He'll
patriarchy.
understand.
Yeah, man.
He'll understand, guys. Plus, agna brother, guys. Ish. Abafana bang borile for the whole decade. So please do.
What have they done to that?
They'll starve. He'll starve. Who's about strong?
Oh, Lord.
But is it
50
just
day and 40
cooking?
nights. It's, yeah, I wouldn't say I can't cook, but it's just not my favorite thing. And I don't know what else that
Can you draw?
I can. I used to draw a lot of Goku and Trunks pictures.
yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
say I'm the best, but
Something.
yeah, I can. Yeah, I think, that's basically it. I'm sure there's something else that I'm forgetting as well.
Dancing. Do you know how to dance?
Ngimnandi.
90.
I make stiff dancing look good. You know? Yeah, that type of guy.
Please, that is so embarrassing. Imagine going with someone to groove and they please,
Yeah.
I disown you. Don't
For
know
real.
you. I disown
No,
you.
but guys, the objective of dancing is not always ukchuluga.
I mean, obviously not, but you must look like you know what you're doing. You can't get there and now expect everyone to, yeah, bro.
Are you those ones who pull their faces? Like,
Yes, I really must. That's like, if as a South African, if you don't stick your tongue out while you're dancing, you're not
Oh,
dancing.
no.
You're not dancing. As in, can you sing though?
Yeah. I used to be in the praise and
Sound
worship,
unsure.
No, I used to be in praise and worship, backup tenor. And bass nyana. I like Amakwicho. I'm a big fan of Amakwicho. I don't know if you know
Don't know
Amakwicho.
what's Amakwicho.
How?
I swear.
Model C people.
I swear, I
Tabang,
don't
where
know.
did you get her? Who doesn't know Amakwicho here?
I don't. I swear I don't know Amakwicho. What is it? Please tell me.
Guys, you don't know Amakwicho?
No, please tell me.
Yeah, isn't it? Amakwicho is songs that basically a lot of it. I'd say a lot of it, I wouldn't say it literally comes from the Eastern Cape, but a lot of it comes from times of war.
Okay.
You know, the MK, Emakaya, you know, you'd sing it to uplift the spirit where you come together in harmony.
Oh, yes, I've heard of those.
It's like
I do
acapella,
know
marale,
the-
yesintu.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
bestula, you know?
No,
like,
I've heard it.
Mama ganontsigelelo. You would sing it because of hardship, things that are happening in the community.
Yeah.
And people would sing that one song and come together, you know? So that's like Amakwicho. That's
I'm
yeah.
a Gwija. I'm going to go tell my history teacher tomorrow. Ma'am, she told us what they are in English. I even forgot.
What's it in English?
Forgot, bruh.
Yeah. I think they'd say it's more like a cappella in English.
Yeah,
Type
in
of
our
thing.
history textbook, it was telling us about the songs they sing and stuff. And I just never knew Kuri in Vanek. Is it Xhosa?
Xhosa, yeah.
I'm a Gwija. And I'm Xhosa and I didn't even know that.
For real. There's a lot of Xhosa Makwicho. I don't
Yeah.
know, Biko. Telling us Eastern Cape, I would something like that. Because most of them come from the Eastern Cape. So I think maybe in the time of the trenches, in the
Yeah.
villages, they'd come together. It's like stories that they would tell. Inganigwani, I think is
Oh,
the
yes,
name.
yes.
You know, we grew up under that. Then with Inganigwani, there was always a song as well, like Amakwicho. But
Okay.
mainly it was Amadoda, going to war, coming back from war. Because they would sleep in the trenches and it would rain and things like that. So to uplift their spirit, they would sing those songs.
They would sing those
Keep them
songs.
going. Yeah.
Cause beteli Gwicho, dog.
Ah,
Cause beteli
cellular,
number.
cellular, cellular, highway na cellular, cellular, highway na cellular, 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 highway na cellular, cellular, highway na.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's it.
That's like a 2000 Amakuicho.
Okay, what does it mean?
It talks about a cell phone, you know, like how we always on your cell phone, you know. So, Ama 2000, I think they're the ones who made Cellular. They would sing it a lot in stadiums. So if you go to stadiums like your FNB Orlando Stadium,
Oh, yeah.
the songs they sing, they are Amakuicho Gakun.
Oh yes, I've heard. Also, I see videos sometimes trending of soccer boys just singing. Most of them can sing. Can your team sing?
Yeah, I know, definitely, especially the blind team.
Mm-hmm.
When they sing, like the soul becomes cleansed. They cleanse my soul, those kids.
Yeah.
Bacula ngenhliziyo, you know. So everyone in Corinthians sings Amakuicho.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, no,
So do
it's
y'all
powerful.
pray? What do y'all believe in as Corinthians? I mean, even though your names kind of says it, but I want a specific idea of what you guys believe in.
Yeah, no, we pray. It's part of our framework. It's before you start anything, you pray. But
Yeah.
Corinthians is open to everyone. It's open to Satanists or cults, to jihadists, to terrorists. It's for everyone. In fact, we have Corinthians in Malawi. They wanted to kill our president in Malawi for praying.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's quite deep because a lot of what we do with Corinthians is all about the transformation of the soul.
Yeah.
So we don't try and force Christ on you, but we want a transformation in your life. But in Malawi, the framework is they have devotion. So what he did is, I went to Malawi in 2017. I met up with Stephen Chimwemwe, and he loved the concept of Corinthians. So I went there with missionaries from America.
Yeah.
And when I went there with American missionaries, they wanted to start a church there, and they were trying to bring in Christ. The villagers were reluctant because it's like, we're coming into your village, we want to bring Christ here. We're not trying to understand you as a village.
Yeah.
I kicked the soccer ball into the ground. The village came, and then we're able to have conversations. And then that allowed us to basically then understand the culture and form a church there as well. So there I met up with Stephen Chimwemwe. I left. He loved Corinthians. He continued. So what he's done is, it's grown so much. He goes into villages to unite villages because now there's terrorists.
Okay.
You know what a terrorist is?
Yeah.
Well, who's your favorite terrorist?
Hey, me, I don't like terrorists, guys. Terrorists.
Yeah. You don't like terrorists? For real? Why don't you like terrorists?
I don't like terrorists. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what's a terrorist.
Jesus Christ.
Yo, guys, don't come for me. Don't come
Yeah,
for me.
no, it's fine. So just research more on terrorists.
Yeah.
A lot of what we know as terrorism is what happened in 9/11, where the Twin Towers in America, there was an airplane.
Oh, I watched Euphoria on season 1. There was
Okay.
something about it happening.
Yeah.
So I saw.
So imagine America being a superpower, and the Twin Towers, the World Trade Centers in New York, aeroplanes are crashing in. So they say it's aeroplanes. And they start collapsing. The Americans were caught off guard. And so when they did research, they said, apparently, according to them, Osama bin Laden, who at that time was under the American CIA operations to fight against the Soviet Union, was responsible.
Okay.
So that's where the war on terror came.
About.
So guys like Osama bin Laden were seen as terrorists because they were basically causing havoc, violence, that's the word of terrorism, in other countries, within their own people. So then America went into Afghanistan, they went into Iraq and said there's a war on terrorism.
On terrorism.
We're fighting these guys who are basically bombing everything, like suicide bombers. So with Stephen Chimwemwe in Africa, it's big, you know. And so there's something called jihadists, where they believe that when you can die for Allah or die for God, you go into heaven. Okay, so a lot of them are child soldiers who are recruited because of seeking to be in a gang or in a confinement. So in Malawi, they were there. And so Stephen Chimwemwe comes into that village. And he comes with a soccer ball. And he comes to say, let's play football and new sports. I've got a video where one of them takes a gun, puts it on the side, gets onto the pitch, and he plays. And so what you had was Christians, Muslims, and the different African spiritualities playing football. It was a beautiful sight of how sport can unite. Then afterwards, they were so moved. They were like, who is your God? And Chimwemwe says, my God is Christ. He didn't enforce it. So they then take off their caps, basically, and say that if your God shows love through this and kindness through this, we want to serve your God. So he then got into trouble because the elders are like, you're just supposed to bring soccer, but it's like now you're enforcing religion. They called him in and they wanted to beat him up at that time. When I spoke to him over the phone, he was traumatized. In fact, they put poison in a drink because afterwards one of the elders said, let him go. He went. A young girl comes with the drink and it's got a white powder underneath. He's about to drink it. And then one of the players said, don't drink that. They put poison. And as he looks, there was like a white powder inside. He throws it and then he goes to the girl and he says, why do you want to poison me? And the girl says, no, the elder said I must give you this. They're the ones who wanted you dead. So those are the things that other young people are going through for transformation and for the faith movement as well. So,
That's deep, but I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah, what happens with history, it seems like you like history.
I do.
History favors the strong. It always favors the strong. So whoever wins in history writes history, even though it's not factual. So everything that you watch on the news, everything that you read is propaganda by the West. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's like North Korea. I like Kim Jong-un. I don't know if you guys know Kim Jong-un. I'm for Kim Jong-un because he's testing missiles. And now they're angry, they're sanctioning him. But America does the same thing. So how come only America can have nuclear weapons but no one else can?
Right.
You understand? So a guy like Kim says, America's having all these things. Let's also have it. No, Kim is a bad guy. He's like a terrorist. He's this type of thing. He's starving his people. So they create these narratives so that you see North Korea in a certain way. You see Palestine in a certain way. You see Muslims in a certain way. People are scared of Muslims nowadays because of the war on terror. You can't engage Muslims because you're scared they're going to bomb or things like that. And it's not truth. Muslims are humans just like us. They're loving. They carry a lot of humanitarian work. But because of the propaganda, it's like anything with Islam is a terrorist or going to bomb you. Anything that is Christian is always good. That is wrong.
It's wrong.
So a lot of things are propaganda.
But no, Muslims are actually nice people. Like I don't know if I was once Muslim, but like my family had this thing where like we're converted. So my second name is Sadia, which means princess in Muslim, I think. So I think Muslim people are cool for real. But this whole war thing, guys, it has to come to an end. It's kind of weird. Imagine if South Africa, actually, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I list for zombies. Can't we have like some action in the world going on? This COVID thing, I'm a mask. It's boring.
For real.
Our country needs some action. Something that's gonna get our blood rushing. Like noma umhlaba uyaphela, it's fine. But makube imcimbi, guys. Let's go crazy. I wanna I even think to myself sometimes when I'm in school and I'm bored and I'm like, yo, ngathi bangaza abantu basibamba inkunzi sesikoleni sizifihle run around, you know.
For real.
I swear, school is so boring sometimes.
South Africa's crazy, man. This is one of the most dangerous countries to be in.
It is.
It's like Venezuela.
And did you know South Africa's roads? I heard this. This is a fact. South African roads are actually the one of the most dangerous roads to drive on.
Sure.
Most car accidents happen on South African roads.
Wow.
And even the stats say it. South Africa is the #1 country with the most car accidents and stuff.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it is crazy. There's a lot of things that happen. I mean, from your looting to a lot of things are happening. The floods.
Yeah.
In Durban, who would have thought floods would happen in a place like Durban and things like that. There's a lot. I wouldn't be shocked if there are aliens in this country. The way people behave.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, that's SA for you.
Yeah, South Africa is crazy. But do you think your people as a country support what you do, and how do you benefit from it?
Yeah. When you say our people, are you saying South Africans?
Yes. So people that are aware of Corinthians and your brand and what you do for, the people out here, and how you're trying to help, like you said, avoid such situations as drugs and kids, and also just supporting and actually doing something like the blind soccer team. I heard it's the first ever in South Africa. So do you think people, do we support you? Do we show you enough support? How do you benefit?
Yeah, 100%. I would say with Corinthians, the people actually showed more support was actually other African countries. Especially with our organization. It was other African entities who supported us, who would contribute imali, who would come and say, dude, we're pushing this. South Africans were very reluctant, I think maybe it's familiarity, that type of thing. But do people love and support what we do as Corinthians? They do. There is that type of support.
Yeah.
I think with anything as well, it's just also market it and get it out there. But there's a lot of love, there's a lot of interest, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of awe, and there's a lot of, wow, keep up what you're doing. So it is there as South Africans. South Africans are loving people. We are bruised and traumatized in so many ways. We're still trying to understand each other. But, when it comes into the world, this country is very loving. In our diversity, we are very supportive.
Yeah.
I think maybe because Silana, we always hear, again, I go to propaganda, how we kill each other, how we hate each other. But if you travel to other countries, in Africa, there's a lot of love. But if you have to go to Europe, go to America, you can't even greet a person.
That's true.
Lahana, hey, Joe, Tibo's grand, Mnandi, that type of thing. South Africa is very loving. So when you travel outside South Africa, you actually appreciate. You're Australia. A lot of South Africans migrate to Australia.
Yeah.
And they're like, I miss South Africa because of the love and the people.
Yeah, South Africa's home. Even Nasty C says, like, guys, I can go from here to here, but this will always be my home.
Always. Definitely. So the support is there. My biggest fight is just basically with the institutions in this country from a football perspective.
Yeah.
Who are still ignorant about blind football. They're not supporting it as much. They are like, it's just community guys getting blind kids and whatever. So the support is not there institutionally.
Yeah.
I always say the biggest problem in our country is not the kingpins. It's not the drug dealers. It's not the guys who mug or rob you. It's the leaders we have.
True.
So I think it's a leadership problem we have in our country. I mean, even with the crime, the cable theft, all that stuff.
It's calm.
No, we can catch the guys who are stealing the cables. But we need to look at the guys because that's a syndicate. And it always leads to a politician. Always leads to an ideology. So when you fix ideologies, you then are able to transform syndicates. Then you're able to transform the person. So Tina, we always hear the leaves, but we need to get to the root of the problem. The looting thing, there was a report that came out that it was politically inspired. The looting that happened in Durban and Gauteng.
Yeah, and it did seem politically
exactly.
Like, it was so random.
You understand?
For Zuma.
You understand? So a lot of people are looking at who was basically going into the malls. No. Who was the person at the top? And they know who the person at the top is, but they don't want to get that person apprehended because of political power. And because money, as King Solomon says, answers all things. We need to fix the top. And when we fix the top, we then transform the syndicates and the systems.
Yeah.
And then we get everything right at the bottom. Maratinas lapans. Marale phezulu ungcolile. We need to fix lapha.
Corruption. Yeah. Corruption is a big problem.
Hectic.
But how do you benefit from your brand? How does it make you feel?
Yeah, 100%. Corinthians is a growing brand, growing internationally as well. And yeah, makes me excited, man, to start from a street into a park.
Yeah.
To in Malawi, then we're going to be in Senegal. Then international, everyone knows us, brands. We have your
global.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got your Virgin Active, Netback Foundation, Asupol, FBOB. So many big corporates, Investec, that are with us now, So it goes back to nothing is impossible. Integral Stratini is now big and everyone wants to basically walk the journey with us. We've got Double Up as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm very excited, but I always say Corinthians does not belong to me. It belongs to God. I'm just a caretaker.
A leader.
I'm a bus driver, that's all. But the bus is not mine.
It's not yours.
Yeah.
Yo, that's so powerful. That's so powerful. But how does Double Up and Corinthians work together?
Yeah, 100%. What I love about Double Up is I got a great relationship with the founder, Tabang Kwerana, and he's a good mate of mine.
Shout out to our boss.
Shout out Tabang. Doing
Boss
great
T.
stuff. She's doing great stuff. So I've known Tabang for, I think, is it over 5-10 years? Yeah, it's like 11 years. I was his youth leader, and then he became a youth leader as well. So we met together at church.
Okay.
And we built a good relationship together at church. In fact, Double Up was inspired by our youth pastor at the time, because he used to shout at us and be like, Paul, you must only be a man of God. Focus on the things of God. You can't be double up, meaning you can't live two lives.
Yeah.
Umuntu
Yeah.
bese sesontweni, so that's two different things. So he used to shout at us for being double up. Not me and him necessarily, but the young people.
Yeah.
So knowing Tabang, I used to cry and share a lot with him and be like, Donna, there's a point where the whole Corinthians walked out. You know, like 15 players walked out, and I was like, it's the end. Because working with people is not easy. And I would share the growth of Corinthians. And then I think with time, he then came with the idea of double up. I remember his first design was like a young chap. I think it was on a cable. Was it jumping the fence? Oh, okay. Jumping a fence, and he shared with me. He's like, Jack, what do you think? And I'm very critical with him. I was telling him even today, I criticize him a lot from a place of love, because I want him to be professional. I always say, when I look at you, I don't look at you from a local brand, I look at you from a global brand.
Yeah.
So I'll critique you to strengthen you, so that externally when you get critique, you're cool with it.
Yeah.
Because uche blasted, and I blast him a lot, you know. But
That's
he's a
good.
mate of mine. He gets it, he builds it, and he strengthens the brand. So when he started Double Up, he then came up with the idea, and I told him about the blind. He's like, I want to design. I don't know who designed that T-shirt, but you had a friend.
My CDO.
Yeah, okay.
Chief Design Officer.
Yeah. So we had the blind, and then he came through and he was like, yo, I've got this design for a T-shirt for the blind team. And I just posted it, and everyone on my DMs went crazy. I like the white one more, but everyone liked the black one.
I told you about the black one though, you know.
Yeah. Everyone likes the black one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the design.
Was it those pictures you sent me? Yes, those were very nice. I like the black one.
Yeah. Everyone
I
likes the
saw
black.
them.
I like the white one more, but everyone likes the black one.
You can wear the white one as coach.
Okay, fair
Right,
enough,
as
no.
coach, and then the team black, but the black was very dope.
It's very dope. And from there, Tabang was talking, so I execute. One thing I'm very good at is execution. I just don't speak, I execute. So I said, Tabang, are you serious about this? He's like, yeah. So Tabang knows me that I get things done. I have a high KPI in execution. And so with time this year it came, and then we purchased the T-shirts. The blind team was running. We played against America, a team from America. We beat them 3-1. And
Shout out, bro.
the blind kid scored a volley. One of them scored a volley. Imagine being blind and scoring a volley.
I don't know what's a volley.
A volley, it's like the ball comes and then you like in the air. But like you blind, but you're hitting a volley. There's able-bodied athletes who still can't do that.
I've heard. I think it's the one where like the ball is in the air and you shoot it while it's like.
Sharp. Emoye nicho.
Damn.
And you can't
that's
see.
Crazy.
And everyone went crazy. And they did
Yo.
like everyone went crazy. I had Brighton Mhlongo from Bafana. He was
Yeah.
there. He's like, dude, sign me up. I want to come and play here.
Yo.
Sign me up. So with Double Up, what I love is Tabang was building a brand, so he confides a lot in me.
Yeah.
And I said, Corinthians is growing, dog. This is a massive brand. It's growing.
It is.
We've got Yamaha as well, part of Corinthians.
Yeah,
That's
shout
a
out.
beautiful brand as well. So I said, design the T-shirt. We'll go with your design. And people were fighting with me.
Yeah.
Because they were like, we're also sponsored by Hollywood Bets. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah. Hollywood Bets.
Hollywood Bets is one of our sponsors. They're our official sponsor. So we wear like the purple and the gold of Hollywood Bets.
Yeah.
But I decided to go with Double Up. And the people in my board were like, I'm going to check. What is Double Up bringing on offer? They just, not to know. It's not about what they're bringing on offer. It's about the story.
Yeah.
It's him starting up something and growing it. And Corinthians also growing. And in our growth, we uplifting him.
Yeah.
And I said, you guys are missing the whole point. If you're looking at money, sponsors, and the monetary, then you're missing Corinthians.
They're missing the whole point.
It's the story behind Corinthians. And if you look at Drip and Batu, it's the story they're selling. It's not the shoes. Because if you look at Batu, it's the same shoe.
Yeah.
In different colors. And Drip, the same thing. But the story of Lekao, of how he started behind his car boots and selling, is what's getting the investors and people to put money in.
Yeah.
And I said the same thing at Double Up. Gary, Double Up is a brand where Tabang is pushing. He's knocking on doors. Corinthians is growing.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have Braille on our T-shirts. The mayor is coming in June. Now imagine the mayor coming for the braille in the t-shirts, but there's a D.
Yeah.
So everyone's going to ask, what's the D
What's
for?
the D?
Shortcut.
You understand? So with Corinthians, they say, okay, sharp, it's Corinthians, mara the D. And then they're going to do an investigation and then say, oh, double up.
Double up.
The brand goes.
Yes.
The brand grows.
Yeah.
So that's the whole relationship with Double Up. It's nothing monetary, it's nothing fancy. It's about us growing at the same time, uplifting Double Up as well. And when Double Up also grows as well, they'd be able to say that no, we've worked with Corinthians. It's mutual.
That's beautiful. Out of curiosity, how many blind players do you have?
We have 13 players. I've got a blind assistant coach, 13 players, and then I also got a female assistant coach as well.
How's that? Like, are the people working? Are you getting more people to come like play and stuff?
When we posted it on Facebook, we had 796 national the messages, people basically messaging, Barry, we want to join blind football. Why are you guys owning Gauteng? Come to Limpopo, come to the Northern Cape. So one of the things I'm doing is I want to get all my blind soccer players a coaching license. If we go through to the qualifiers this year, we're going to go to the UK and play the World Cup and represent South Africa. But prior to that, or post that is I want to get coaching licenses for all my players. But we're Matatiela, Eastern Cape, some of them from KZN, Northern Cape, Kuruman, Klerksdorp, they come from all over the country. They're at the local blind institution.
Yeah.
When they go back home and they have their licenses, they can start their own blind soccer teams.
Their own teams.
Or they become professional coaches and then they can freelance and make money. So I got a national plan for them.
That's so cool. That's really cool. Yeah, so I think that's it. That's it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Any 1, 2, 3 words maybe to the people?
Yeah, 100%. Look, June 16, June 18, we're going to be hosting a festival. It's called the Youth in Sport Festival. June 16, we're going to have netball. We've got Ludo. Ludo is indigenous games. I'm sure you've played Ludo. You know Ludo. You don't know Ludo?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ludo. We're going to have Ludo, basically. We're going to have soccer on the day as well, top 8. And then we're going to have dignitary speakers as well. And then on June 17, Sobane Imbi. So one of the things we're doing is we are basically taking all the NPOs and NGOs in the South, and we are calling all the corporate companies, ABSA, Standard Bank, Investec, they're coming through, and we're basically going to see a collaboration where the resources can give information in exchange to the NPOs, NGOs. And then June 18 is just like another soccer tournament that's happening with young people. It's the first that's happening in the South. It's going to be massive. I want to invite everyone to come through. And more importantly, nothing is impossible. Thank you very much. Apparently can't use Facebook because apparently it's outdated.
No,
They're crashing our spirits here. Yeah. 100%. For Corinthians, Facebook, it's just Corinthians. Instagram, it's Corinthians. LinkedIn, it's just Corinthians. And then for my social media handles, I only have Facebook and LinkedIn. Unfortunately, I'm still slow guy Instagram. I'm Lungi, see, Jack MCB on Facebook. And then on LinkedIn, it's Jack MCB. So that's where you'll find me. Deuces.
shout out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen,
Thank
that
you.
is it for now. From your girl, if you want to me, you can find me on Instagram. I am by Janae. That's by.jh3NEEY. Thank you so much, fam.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was real cool. Okay, guys. I think we're done for this. We're done.
Yeah, it's hectic. But yeah.